This story has just made my blood really boil. I'll explain why afterwards. Okay, man found dead in ER after waiting 8 hours for a doctor. He walked into St. Barnabas Hospital asking to be treated for a rash, but more than 8 hours later, John Verrier was found dead in his chair in a crowded ER waiting room, hospital's officials concede. The 30-year-old amateur artist may have been dead for hours, according to a mortified employee who was there in the Bronx emergency room Monday morning when the corpse was finally discovered. He was found stiff, blue and cold, the employee said, speaking to ABC News on the condition. He died because there are not enough staff to take care of the number of patients we see each day. We need more staff at St. Barnabas. Officials at the 461 bed facility said Verrier checked into the ER at 10 p.m. Sunday and was found dead at 6:40 a.m. the next morning. Upon his arrival, he was registered and told to wait to see a doctor, said St. Bernard's spokesman Steve Clark, adding that Verrier was told to wait inside the ER itself, but for some reason returned to the waiting room and took a seat. Between 10 p.m. and 2 a.m. his name was called 2 or 3 times and he did not answer, Clark said. At 2 a.m. a security guard made a pass through the waiting room to rouse the many homeless people to try to sleep there. Nothing was wrong. He was moving. He was alive. During the 2 a.m. check, Clark said. Surveillance video from elsewhere in the hospital recorded Verrier was alive and moving at 3:45 a.m. Then, after 6, when security did not pass, he was dead, the hospital spokesperson said. His name was called several times on several occasions and he did not respond, Clark added, stressing that an in-house review found all guidelines were met. But clearly nobody was checking on Verrier as he died unattended and untreated in plain sight of hospital staff, the anonymous worker counters. He was not checked on, the employer said. Based on the number of people in the waiting room, it is impossible to check on each person physically. Patients who check into St. Barnabas ER are usually in a long hall. The average ER waiting times at the hospital are twice the New York State and national averages, the Post learned. It takes patients at the Bronx Hospital an average of 306 minutes to be treated and released, compared to 155 waiting minutes statewide and an average 137-minute wait nationally, according to Medicare statistics. At St. Barnabas, the more seriously injured are also in for long waits. It takes an average of 112 minutes to get pain medication for a broken nose, for instance, compared to the average of 63 minutes and national average of 59 minutes. Patients confirm those galling stats. We got here at 1 o'clock and they didn't take him in till the next day at 7 a.m. Alfred Moraes, 34, recounted Saturday of a recent visit for seizures suffered by his father. Amazingly, hospital officials insist that other long ER waits are irrelevant in this case and suggest that the dying man may have played a role in his own demise by not answering to his own name. Family members told ABC that Verrier, who struggled with drug addiction but had been clean for months, was a victim of hospital negligence. Well, to be honest, it's unacceptable. It's unacceptable that somebody has died in a hospital waiting room. And, you know, the hospital's going to cover their back. The hospital officials will cover their back and they won't tell you the truth in fear that they'll get shut down. And the worker inside, who was anonymous, probably spoke the truth and said things as they are. I don't think they want to lose their job, but at the same time, you know, situations like this are just unacceptable. And you know, you may just look at this story and may mean nothing to you. You might say, well, it's in America, it doesn't mean anything to me. You know, I'm in the UK, or I'm in France, or I'm in China, or I've got better healthcare. And because it's not you directly affected, or your family member not affected, you don't care. You read it, go, oh, poor thing, and you move on. But if you've been directly affected by this, if you had a family member who has died due to negligence in a hospital, and the hospital have a big name, and solicitors and lawyers won't take that on because in fear of their own lives and jobs, you know, justice sometimes isn't served. And I will continue to report things like this because it's unacceptable. People being ignored, and then to cover up their negligence and their lack of, they will lie, and it's just not right. But again, this is just the way of the world, I think. And what is going to happen with this story? Who knows? Is the hospital going to get shut down? Probably not. Gross misconduct? Well, they could turn around and say, well, we were understaffed. Why are you understaffed when you know this is going to happen? What are you going to do about it? What adjustments are you going to make? Let me know what you people think out there. I think it's just totally unacceptable. But then, hey, that's just me. I'm out.